Hey guys and girls, welcome. I don't know what time it is in your part of the world, but good day. As you know, on the Performant at 50 Plus channel, we are all about strength. Strength for whatever age you are, whether you're 80, 90, even 100 and younger. And it's all about getting strong, getting performant, being able to do stuff. You know that I'm so very passionate about it. And in my own life, I keep on trying to lift the bar. And today I want to talk to you about how I lost strength within a couple of weeks and how you should be performing, you should be progressing, or you should be, let's say, strategizing to keep yourself strong and to keep going forward rather than go backwards. So the other day I went in. I have not been going for 4 days now. I haven't been going to the gym, and that's very unlike me. I'm so very, let's say, passionate, but I also enjoy working out and pushing the barriers of where I am at, and that was part of the problem why I lost strength. So in some of these videos that I'm putting forward, and please note the dates, you will see that on my birthday of the 19th September, I deadlifted 190 kilos for 2 reps. So that was my highest deadlift. And just 3 or 4 months before, I had been putting up targets of 130 kilo deadlift by the end of the year. And I have beaten it by a huge amount. But just a couple of days ago, that means more than maybe 4 days ago, I went in and I deadlifted and I failed on the 180, and I said that's okay, we do have our ups and downs. And then the next day I squatted, and as you might be knowing, 180 kilo squat is my top. I've squatted 185 for 2 reps, I think. Unfortunately, I don't film everything that I do, and as you might know, there's a lot of slowdown with filming, and also sometimes I feel a little embarrassed because there's other people around, and I'm one of those kind of, if you want to call it, introvert, extrovert kind of persons. I do feel sometimes a little embarrassed that I'm even filming. As you might be knowing, I'm the different generation, and so it's different for me. And so I've not filmed my highest record in squatting, but it's been 185. I've got it in my book somewhere. Unfortunately, I lost the previous book, but I think it's in this current book, current log or journal, if you want to call it that. So the other day, I walked up to one of the other guys who was there, and I said, can you spot me on the higher reps? And he did spot me on 170, and because many younger people or people who are not used to spotting, they're ready to help lift rather than when you actually need it. So I did 170, I think, and then I must check my book, and then I went down to 165 because, at 180 I failed quite badly, and then I went down to 165, and I still got stuck. So what am I saying? I'm saying basically that my strength from 185 has come down from 185 kilo squat a couple of months ago seems to have come down. Have I lost strength as such? Have I lost my capability, my ability to actually lift? And this is where I want to talk to you guys about periodizing your workouts so that you don't seem to lose the strength, that you keep on steadily progressing. So I seem to have lost my September 19th strength down to 180, where I couldn't even deadlift 180, and then I backed off onto, I think, 165, something like that. And my screen is just here, which you can't see. I'm just looking, so 165 For a squat of 165, I needed a bit of a nudge, more than a bit of a nudge, to get through that sticking point. And so let me explain what brought me to this. You see, guys and girls, I'm so very, very excited about progressing and becoming stronger and stronger, and sometimes I push myself too much. So what happens is, what has happened recently, due to work commitments, I've had to reduce my daily workout schedule. So I've had to work something like maybe an hour on the weekends because the gym opens a little later and I've got to go in earlier and stuff like that. So I've had barely an hour on some days. Due to that, due to work commitments, I have not been able to put in my usual longer session. And that means my calculation of this was that, okay, if I cannot do a long enough session, then maybe I should do more sessions. And so I've stopped taking a day off, and I have not, for the last so many days, I have not even taken a week off. I might have taken maybe 1 or 2 days, but no, I've never taken a week off, and I've kept on pushing the numbers. So that's all very well, and that's what I recommend that you do. I recommend that you guys and girls keep track of your numbers and that you keep on pushing, but you need to do it in a sensible, kept on working out every day, 7 days a week, and that has caused me to lose strength. Lose strength in as much as my CNS has been battered. I have been pushing the higher weights, and every time you push the higher weights towards the 90 percentile of the top part of what you can actually do, your CNS, which is your central nervous system, gets battered. If your CNS, along with all the other stresses that you put on it, is not able to recover, then the next time you try to do it, you are not ready for that, and you are not able to hit the bigger numbers. So that is one indication that you are overtraining in a way, that you are pushing the heavy weights too much, too many times. That is something I would ask you to be very, very careful, be cognizant of it, be very aware of what you are doing to yourself, periodize your system so that, and I will show you another video where I will teach you how to periodize the weights that you are doing, the kind of exercises that you are doing, so that you keep on progressing quite linearly, so in a straight line, more or less, rather than go forward, hit that brick wall, and then, like me, have to take quite a bit of time off to recover. For the last three days I have not gone to the gym, and I will not go to the gym for another 3 days maybe, to recover, to let my CNS work. Just yesterday I had to help move the piano in our house, and from the music room, what we call our music room, to the foyer, my partner wanted. And so I am the person who has to move things around, and that was again, this is a very, very heavy piano. It's an old piano, as you can see in the clip that I've put forward here. But it's an old piano, and it has got a massively heavy harp. The previous time we moved it, I actually bought it on eBay for $4 and actually $3.80. We took 5 of my gym buddies to help me move it from that person's house to here, to my house. So this is a very heavy piano, and this time I did most of the lifting myself, because that was quite some years ago. It must be more like maybe 8-9 years ago. And since then I've become so much more stronger. I'm able to deadlift much more than I used to be able to. At that time I was a weakling. Just yesterday we moved it, and I think my CNS has been hit again. I do want to give myself some time to take some time off, but as you'll see in some of these clips, I have been keeping on working very hard, actually, with quite heavy weights to keep my strength up, and that's great. You can do that, but you have to periodize. So when you're lifting weights, you have to have time between just heavy and hypertrophy. So that's very important for you, so that you work on your strength on one day of the week, work on getting more muscle size on another day of the week, but that's it for that week. Then you go on to maybe working on either your squats or your deadlift. So you take all these in turn, so that you can grow, and you don't have to take time off, cover from your mistakes. So in some of these clips you'll see how hard I work. I do work hard and I lift a lot of weight, but sometimes working hard is good, but you also have to give your body a break, because there's a lot of hormonal, let's say, battering that you take, and you can have a lot of, let's say, negative hormones like cortisol and all come into your system, which are going to give you the adverse effects of not being able to sleep, not being able to recover. So your injuries, like currently I have a shoulder injury that is preventing me from being the best that I can be, because my bench and my shoulder, my overhead pressing has been compromised. This is something that I really need to heal. When these kind of things happen, they take it backwards. There are some other points that I wanted to talk to you about. So some of the signs that you are overworking yourself is that you are slower to recover from injuries, as I mentioned. Insomnia, not sleeping, not being able to sleep well, because your body has got so much of those adrenaline injected into it that it doesn't allow you to sleep very well, and you don't sleep well, and then during the day you are tired and you're not able to perform as well. Then there's also decreased explosive power, of course, because when you're squatting, and you can see in some of these clips, I've put a marker in this place. From some of these clips you can see that I've not been able to explode upwards. So I do squat very slowly, just to help with the hypertrophy and with the stress on my body, but your explosive power goes down, and especially when you're coming up with the weight, you can see that I've got stuck. And that was only on 165, which is so much lower than my weights for my squats and my deadlift also. You can see that I failed. So these are some of the signs, and if you notice some of these signs, you can tell yourself that you are overtraining and you need to back off. You need to slow down, you need to back off with working the higher weights that you are capable of. And back off from the top, they're saying, and go down maybe up to your 60-70 percentile, where you will be able to work on the hypertrophy ranges and put in a little bit more reps. Back off from the very heavy single and double reps. Guys and girls, I want to mention why I got overtrained. One is ambition. I do want to be the strongest person here in Australia of my age. I'm over 60 now, and I do want to be the strongest person, and I'm aiming at that. I don't know where we have competitions, but I do want to. For my weight, I'm only 85, but I reckon by the time I get ripped, and as you might see, I'm not the most ripped person, but I'm working at getting more lean. For me, as I have mentioned before in my other videos, strength and muscle size is more important than just being lean. Especially at these ages, you want to be stronger than just try to be lean and lose muscle mass. I definitely want to be lean. I want to show off in front of you guys and be able to show you a ripped physique, because I think with the direction that fitness is taking, leanness is very important. Being able to show six-pack abs is very impressive, and it attracts more people. And basically I do want to attract a lot of people to this channel, simply because I want more of you guys to be realizing how important it is to build up your strength as you get older. If you want to get into competition, totally different matter, but I think it's about performance as you get older, about being independent, capable. It's all the basic stuff. Once you're past that and you're able to really be performant, then yes, definitely I want you climbing rope, and I want you deadlifting hundreds of kilos when you're 100 years old, and at a competition level, hopefully. So I'm going to teach you and show you how to do this. But like I said, at the basics, most of us, 90% of us, are not going to go into competition, but I do want you guys to be healthy, strong, and fit, and the best that you can be. So, and that's why this channel exists, basically to help the mass of people, the majority of the older guys and girls, to be strong, capable, and totally healthy. And then, yeah, maybe the 10% who want to go higher, come along. I will show you how to do it. I'll inspire you. Guys and girls, so first thing was my ambition, because I want to this thing to grow to be the best here in Australia. The second thing was I was having no days off, because like I mentioned, had less time due to work commitments. And the third is wanting too much too soon. My ambition is for the end of this year to be beating the 200 kilo deadlift. Definitely, I think I will do that. I want to also do 190 squat. So I'm going to look at my periodization again, and I will show you how I'm working it so that it will help you to progress faster. Guys and girls, take care. Be careful not to overtrain, but always be pushing those weights. Always pushing the weight, but be careful not to overtrain. Once a week to hit your highest is enough on either your squat, your deadlift, bench, or overhead pressing. These are the four major lifts that I talk about. Yeah, once a week pushing those weights is good, but the next week, for the rest of the week, no. Definitely stay away and work on the hypertrophy, work on the assistance exercises. Guys and girls, take care, lots of love, and I will talk to you next time.